Starts
feel
off
like
strong.
I've
Starts off with a bang. Something crazy.
got some, but the problem is there's some things I don't think I should play as. I'm like, I don't know if
Okay, keep it
keep it PG.
appropriate.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I know. But I've
No
got a couple.
butt
I've got a
stuff.
couple that see my
No.
buddy sends me a bunch of TikToks. I'm like, and he's kind of he's kind of perverted, but they're somewhat
Okay,
funny.
nothing perverted.
I know. I'm not doing that, Amanda. I'm not doing it. Calm down.
This is a
Relax.
Christian
Relax.
truther community. Know your audience.
I know.
They don't scare my like 200
It's
followers away.
terrible. Yeah, don't worry. I'll scare all 12 of mine off. Don't worry.
Overwhelmed and scared, but I can tell you how to fix it. I mean, if I were you, I'd start working about 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week.
The comments. Have you tried making coffee at home instead of buying it in the mornings?
Oh my God, the most irritating boomer response ever.
And stop buying coffees, of course. $1,000 emergency fund will protect you until you're completely debt free. It's like, get one job to cover 40 hours, get a second job to get another 40, and the first one fires you for lack of commitment. But it's like, does that response not drive you insane?
I seriously can't stand it.
Pedos running the government, surging gas prices, fall of democracy. Well, I'd start working 70, 80 hours a week. Okay, wait. I got another one for... Right? Save it. Hold on, I got another funny one for gas prices. Hold on, let's play this real quick.
And it's very cool. Oh my gosh. Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday. Wow. Think Joe Biden would do this? I don't think so. Do you think he'd think of it? Do you think he knows what it is? Wow. No, but
it's very cool. Check this out.
Wow. Just came up yesterday.
Well, you know what's crazy is like he had just had his State of the Union address, right? Yeah. And he had just had a State of the Union address where he talked about the gas prices in some places are $1.98, $1.99. And not even like 3 days later, gas prices jumped, $3.50, $3.75 in like areas where I'm at, normal Americana hick areas like myself. We jumped like $1.50 immediately after he gave this, that was one of his big talking points here at his freaking State of the Union. And these Trump freaking, worshipers that, like my dad's like, because I worked a bunch of overtime during this last windstorm, and he's like, well, that's tax-free, isn't it? I said, you literally think that any overtime over 40 hours is just not taxed? I was like, no, like it's a BS thing you get to write off like at the end of the year with your taxes. You get a certain amount that comes off your gross income, but that's still capped. It's not like you worked anything over 40 hours you don't pay any federal taxes or state taxes. It's like, no. You're still paying all of that on your freaking because again, that was another thing. But again, in the boomer's mind, it's like, well, Trump said that anything over 40 hours, is going to be take-home pay.
He said a lot of things, Dad.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, Dad. And it was funny is we've had the same.
He drained the swamp, Dad. That never happened.
Yeah. Draining, I shouldn't say. Never mind.
Gas got to be the final boss. It's the final boss. That's what's gonna finish you off at the end of the day, because I'm going a quick trip to pump my gas, and I put the thing in there, and the thing just going and going and going, and I'm just like, what is going on? Then this truck pulls up beside me, and I feel sorry for all my F-150, 250, 350 on. Got them big old tires, that big old truck, because I just know, and them big old SUVs, I just know. It's busting y'all head right now. You can sit there and act like it's not. You can act like it's all good, that you don't care, but you care. You care. I don't care how much money you got. This gas too doggone high. That man hopped up out that truck, and me and him looked at each other. Complete stranger. We almost hugged it out. Like, he looked at me, and I looked at him. And he looked like he wanted to vent. I just did like this. I feel your pain, brother. Feel your pain. It's bad, y'all. And you know what? I'm about at the point to where I can't afford it. So if I ain't got nowhere to be, expect me to be in the house.
I like the comment. Ain't nobody gonna be outside this summer. But it's like it's so true though. Like gas is insane.
It's
I
all by
mean,
design. It's all by
I know.
design.
You know, and what's funny is like I live in a very lucrative area. Like we had this huge gas and oil boom years ago, like huge gas and oil. Like, and they talk about like, well, we've got oil for generations, right? Like it's infinite at this point. And it's like I literally live in an environment where a lot of people got a lot of money and are still getting a lot of money because the amount of oil and just in the state of Ohio is insane. So it's like if we were, you know, self-sufficient or energy independent because of oil, why are we still paying? Yeah, why is gas the price is at? So there's like a big kind of like even guys like around our area that are at my workplace are like, you know, why is like we're supposed to be energy independent and we're sucking all this gas and oil out of the ground here, like in our area specifically.
Oh, you guys
It's
are
like,
drilling? You guys are.
oh yeah, there's so many
So
wells.
what
The
heck?
wells in Ohio, like Southern Ohio, are crazy for gas and oil. Like it's insane. And so it just doesn't make any sense to me that, you know, I mean, it makes sense because I think it's part of this, you know, it's all part of the scam, but it's the petrodollar and all that nonsense. But it's, yeah, you would think that we would have our own supply by this point, but the reason they can justify that is because of the constant swing in the weather. So anyways, just something to kind of.
Yeah, the weather has been crazy. It was like 90 degrees today. And last week it was like raining here.
I have a video for that. Hold on real quick. Let me share something.
They're
Which this
messing with
is
the weather, guys.
oh, they're messing with the weather, but this is kind of like a there's been things going on TikTok about the 90s, nostalgia, and like they did like, you know, like a lot of actors and celebrities that were like what was it like in the 90s, right? And it flashes back to them in the 90s. Well, they did one for the weather. So
We haven't said hi yet.
we'll add
Okay,
that in
we'll
there
bake it
somewhere.
in. Yeah, we'll
We'll
add
add it
it
in
in
somewhere.
later.
All right, ready? Since we're talking about the weather, this kind of goes.
And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now.
Yeah, so it's like,
Damn.
you know, I mean, how true is that? I keep seeing this too, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I see this. I do.
Mother Nature, Mother Truckers.
Oh, I didn't even see that in the picture. Took this during our government shutdown. No chemtrails.
Oh my gosh. Yep, that's what it was like. All you Gen Zers who watch this channel.
And some was actually. And so, have you seen that about Well, I like how in the lightning bugs thing. So, like, supposedly, like, we don't get near, which I do. I don't know.
Lightning bugs. What does that mean?
You don't remember lightning bugs growing up? Like, I used to collect jar.
Oh, like fireflies?
Are you calling them lightning bugs fireflies?
I think on the West Coast we call them fireflies.
Fireflies. They're fireflies.
Okay, lightning bugs. That's not even an
Lightning
alliteration.
bug sounds way cooler.
Fireflies sounds dope.
Bugs.
Okay, put it in the comments below.
Wait till I
Did you guys call them fireflies or lightning bugs? Let us know in the comments below, and also let us know which is better.
You know what TikTok's saying, Amanda? TikTok's saying lightning bugs. So
It's a bunch of Gen Z people who don't know what they're talking
I've got TikTok
about.
on my side. Wait till I introduce you to a term called barley wax. You don't even understand, bro.
I actually don't understand.
No, you won't. It's strictly an Ohio thing. But yeah, so what is your take? Like, have you seen fireflies?
Don't say it like that. Put some respect behind it.
Have you seen the fireflies out in California or not?
I haven't, come to think of it, I haven't seen fireflies since like 1999.
Right. Did you ever collect them as a child?
With like jars?
Yeah.
I can't say that
How else would you collect them?
I'll have to ask my sister about that.
Yeah, we collect them as a kid. But then now I feel bad because we would collect them and they
would you let them free? No, you let them die in the jar.
Well, like you would put them in your room at night and like they would be all in your room like lighting up. You know, it could be kind of a cool thing to like little.
And then you just let them die.
It's a natural. It was a natural Yeah, what's some things you could plug
I don't
into your freaking
know.
wall outlets? What are those little lightning lightning? I'm calling everything lightning.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, but I remember that being a thing. I just don't know if I partook in that
Mm.
tradition.
I didn't do it often, but we did. But I remember like it being like I do remember this. I remember lightning bugs being everywhere. Like we would go outside like in the evening, probably like right around dusk, 7, 8 o'clock, and they would come out and they were. I mean, you just looked out into the field and like I mean we didn't even have much of we had a little bit of field right beside our house, and they were just. I mean, thousands upon thousands of lightning bugs. And now, like, when people have been mentioning this, I'm like, now granted, like, right now is not the season for them, but I'm like, I'm going to start paying attention to that more. Like, do we have, what happened to the lightning bugs?
Dude, what happened to the bug? Like, what happened to the bees? I used to remember seeing a lot more bees, a lot more butterflies, a lot more like ladybugs and roly-polies. Like, I used to play with
Ladybugs
roly-polies.
is another one too. And yeah, you're true.
Yeah,
Ladybugs is
right?
another kind of like, what's happened to the ladybugs?
Yeah.
Should I quit my job?
We're so back.
back.
The Weather Channel.
I took 2 walks today. Seasonal depression gone, regular depression back. And right after daylight savings too. I love this meme. That's one of my
Yes.
favorite memes. Life is good. But it's so true though. As soon as that weather changes. But see, like where we're at now, yeah, we went from having a 70-degree day. I went from walking my dogs on Sunday to a winter freaking snowstorm the next day. It's ignorant. This one was kind of funny for a conspiracy person. Let's check this out.
Oh, I love these type of ones.
What is going on? Please double check your seatbelt. Make sure everybody has their seatbelt securely fastened. Put this thing on the ground.
What is going on?
I just love the initial, like, just the ride's going crazy. Like, you've been on this ride. It's like, yeah. It's pretty crazy
It
that we have
is
been on
quite
this. Wait, I have one for you too. I have one for you. Since you're a cat person. You're a cat person. Shoot, I thought that one was good. I thought that was good. So, wait. Let me add one more. Hold on, let me add one more.
cat.
For the
I
intro.
love Zeke. He's literally keeping me sane. Love you, Zeke.
I'm old enough to face the dawn.
Yeah.
Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek and
See, that's
Okay,
one way to look at
one
it.
episode we got to talk about the NASA deception.
Oh my.
Yeah.
One episode
We'll
that
get
would cover like 5
Well,
episodes.
NASA plus biblical cosmology, obviously.
Amanda, that's like
That's a huge
so much.
episode.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's
Yeah,
that
NASA
would be like
deception, biblical
that would be a
cosmology.
huge. That would be a long. We'll have to break that one up. There's gonna be like part 1s and part 2s to some of these. So
All
anyways,
right, should we dive into the topic today?
dive into it. Let's go.
All right,
Bring it.
guys, welcome
Bring it.
back. Welcome back to Truth or Tapes, episode 2. And today's topic, we got something really, really exciting. What do we got, Nathan?
What do we got on today's episode? We're going to dive into the calendar deception, how they have been lying to us, even through our calendars and through the dates and through what else do we got? Easter and different holidays that we have co-opted into our society and have integrated into our society that are actually in pagan origin. So we're going to look into some of the different background and history around some of the calendar deceptions and the holidays that we're celebrating that are coming up, and maybe why as Christians and as truthers, we should stop celebrating them.
So, long story short, as we all know, we are
Short story
currently
long.
in short story long. we are currently operating within the Gregorian calendar, right? Everyone knows that. So I was like, when did the Gregorian calendar start? And crazy enough, okay, so prior to the Roman Empire, we always started the calendar in April. Like if you go back to the Mayan calendar, the ancient Chinese calendar, the ancient Ethiopian calendar, everyone always started in April, which makes sense as the start of the year. And it wasn't until the Roman era that Julius Caesar moved the start of the year to January 1st. And he did this in 45 BCE. And there's a lot of speculation as to why they did this. Obviously, like when I did the research on this presentation, like Wikipedia had some BS reason why. But it wasn't until the medieval period where they moved the New Year back to March 25th. And it's funny, during the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, as they like to say, they moved the calendar back to its original start. Isn't that funny? And if you guys are like millennial reign people, it makes sense that they would move it back to the true start of the year, which is in April. So I thought that was really interesting. So our true calendar is actually a 13-month calendar because there's 13 moon cycles per year.
Moons. The AA used to call them like 13 moons. Yeah,
Bingo.
months kind of got derived from moons. Yeah,
exactly. The Latin root of that is moon, is month. So like I said, the Mayans, the Incas, the Aztecs, the Ethiopians, they all utilized a 13-month calendar because if you times 13 by 28 days, you get exactly, I think it's 64 days. And then there would be 1 day out of time that they said in order to complete the solar year that they didn't count as a day on their calendar. So, and what's really cool, and Nathan, you brought this up, was like the turtle thing.
Oh, the
Talk
turtle
about
thing
that?
is, oh, absolutely. The stinking turtle thing is the coolest thing in the world. Like, that is something, like, that's where I'm like, okay, God has given us, there's so many things in nature God has given us as revelations to us to speak to us about just the cyclical times even of the year. And that's even embedded in what I thought was like, okay, maybe it's a one-off, but it's every single turtle shell has our calendar on it. Has, what is it, 28 outer and then 13 inner, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So like if anybody can go out and do this, you can go out and find a turtle in the wild. Like my brother-in-law, not even a couple months ago, because he fishes all the time, had a couple of turtles and he brought them to the kids, and here I am. I'm like, this is my moment, right? I'm like, all right, guys. I'm like, you see here, I'm like, you see on this turtle.
Is going to get him to wake up.
Yeah. I'm like, and you should have seen how many shocked faces. Like, this is some very just, basic level stuff I kind of know that truthers we should know and you can kind of point out. But I'm like, all right, everybody gather around. I'm like,
this is going to be the thing.
Yes.
Wakes me up, the damn turtles. It's a conspiracy.
They're all like, Nathan's about to impart some enormous wisdom upon us. I'm like, yes, come to the Magi, come speak to me.
Gather round, children.
Gather round,
in the front.
you peasants. Gather round, you peasants.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Come to my table. Let me introduce you to this. And so I literally, like, I got mom and dad and my brother-in-law, my sister.
Oh, you literally did this?
Oh, 100%. I was like, all right, guys, what's up?
I thought we were role-playing right now.
No. This 100% happened. And
okay.
It was my time to shine, all right? Like, as truthers, we don't get time. We get times to get scoffed at and made fun of. You don't get time to shine, right? And so I'm like, well, guys, actually, we're supposed to have 13 months and 28 days per the Book of Enoch and per the Gregorian calendar. And I was like, and you can see it on the back of every single turtle shell, including this one. And like, I lifted it up and I'm like, see, we counted all the divisions of the shell and they're like, wow, that's really cool. So anyways, you guys hear that NASA's going to land on the moon here in a couple months? Immediate. And they're like, I'm like, well, I tried, right? But for a minute, they're like, wow, so you're saying every single turtle shell you'll come across has this. And so, ooh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Basically, this is the turtle shell like you're saying that has the 28 outer ring and then the 13 moons that occur in each lunar year.
Yeah. And it's like,
No.
that is intentional. Like, that is 100% intentional, right? My Native
Yeah, and we can talk
American,
about why. Yeah, we can
yeah,
talk about why in the next slide, but yeah, this is how it was until Julius Caesar, until the Roman Empire came about and changed it. And so I thought this was so interesting. So this was actually an article, I think, in 1928. Yeah, 1928, you see here, where they changed it back. And interesting about the dates, too, if you think that we're in Satan's little season, they changed it back to the 12-month calendar. But there used to be 13 months. So, yeah, as you can see here on the left, that was the original. And what's cool about the 13-month calendar is that the first of the month always starts on a Monday, and the last of the month always ends on a Sunday. So it's just so much cleaner, right?
well, it just makes so much more sense, right? Like, synchronicity type thing, right? It makes so much more sense that you have 28 days, 13 months, same amount of days in each month. Why do we have some 30 days, some 31 days, one 28 day? Why do, like, that does not, if you were thinking logically, what makes the most sense out of those calendars, knowing that there's 13 lunar cycles too, knowing that, women have their cycles every 28 days. Like, all of that is, to me, I'm like, it just makes a whole lot more sense that it's, first of all, divisible, like it's actually 364 days. And that is a clean number to be divisible by, as far as, it's not an odd number that you can divide, it's like, just, 28 days, 13 months. Like, that just makes a lot more sense to me, in my opinion.
Yeah. And so April 1st used to be the start of the year, which April Fool's Day, which you have a theory, which we can talk about in a little bit, but it makes more sense. Like, in March, in April, that's when things are starting to bloom again. It's when we start to see new life form. That's when, like, animals start to come out of hibernation and they start to mate and literally create new life. Like, it
Yeah.
just makes more sense that is the start of the year, not the dead of winter in January.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Well, and I don't know, do you have this in your presentation about the months and just the numbers in
Let me
general?
see.
It's the peasant who I saw leaving the city who disappeared into the crowd with Cusco on the back of his cart. He must have taken him back to his village, so if we find the village, we find him, and if we find him, we find Cusco. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Let's see. I think
Like,
I do.
that's
Here, let me
what
go to the next slide.
that's what woke me
Oh,
up
yeah,
the
this is
most
just a
too.
meme. A year should have 13 months. If we had 13 months instead of 12, every month would be exactly 28 days. The first would always be a Monday, and the 28th would always be a Sunday. And every month would have exactly 4 weeks. And we would properly align ourselves with the cycle of the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically what we said. And then the importance of the number 13. So, like I said, 13 moon cycles per year. 13 weeks in each of the 4 seasons. Like, it's just so much cleaner. Everything is, like, clean. And then, yeah, if you go down there, Jesus had 12 disciples, and then including him would be 13. So it's just like a number of completion. 13 major joints in the body. Yeah,
But
anyway.
you also, like, it's funny you're pointing out the number 13. So, like, there's also a huge inversion of the number 13, because you
Exactly,
have,
because Satan inverts everything in this reality.
but you have Friday the 13th. It's supposed to be a number of fear. And so there's a lot of conspiracy around that. Like, the hotels don't have 13 floors because of 13 is supposed to be an unlucky number. And again, we've inverted the number even on the dollar bill. If you look on the back of a dollar bill.
There it is! It's beautiful! Take your hat off, boy! That's a dollar bill!
It's crazy. You do a whole slideshow on it, but there's like 7 or 8 different things that have the number 13 on them. And I think, again, that's part of Satan's deception. I'm going to take this number now. This number that
Exactly,
used to be
13 is the most powerful number in observable nature because it's a prime number that's incorruptible in nature. So it's a very, like, strong number.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, so it's
Yeah.
interesting that we have now made it a number 2. And then the whole 6-7 thing,
Exactly.
the whole 6-7 thing
Oh,
that went
yeah.
about, you know what I mean? So anyways,
Yeah,
I think,
equals 13. Yeah.
yeah, so there's so much around the numerology of 13. Like, so they've inverted that one. And so it's like, but on the dollar bill, on the back of it, there's, like I said, the eagle, or that eagle in the back is holding in both talons. Like the one is like 13 olive leaves, the other one's like 13 branches. It's got 13 steps of the pyramid on the back. There's so much, and that's all intentional, right? Like it's 100% intentional. So again, I feel like there's so many, even the number 33, I feel like, we talk about Jesus being 33 years old. He
33
was
when he died.
crucified, now the Masons have adopted that. Like there's so much in numerology. Just, we don't gotta dive into that,
Yeah,
but I
we don't have
just
to go
wanted
into
to,
it, but
like, there's so much with numbers that we have that's been inverted. So even with the number 13.
exactly. And then this is just kind of a quick thing, but actually there is 13 zodiac signs. There's 13 constellations that the sun travels through each year. But again, they wanted to take out the number 13, make it 12. So that messed everything up. But obviously, like as a Christian, we don't want to like look at omens in the sky. We don't want to like follow our horoscope or anything like that. But it's just interesting that they took out the 13th sign, which randomly I am the 13th sign. Ophiuchus. I don't know how
Wow.
you pronounce
What are the
that, but
chances?
yeah, crazy. Anyway, and then this is just a cool little Instagram reel. No, can I? Okay, wait.
Yeah, maybe blow that up if you can. Can you make it any bigger? No.
Resurrection. This was even mentioned in the Bible. We have 13 lunar cycles, with each cycle being 28 days. The ocean's tides are 28 days. Women's periods are also 28 days. And then we have 13 zodiac signs, not the exoteric 12. Many ancient cultures use this 13-month calendar system. For example, the Native Americans used a turtle as their timekeeper. In every turtle show you'll see 13 sections in the middle for each of the months, and then 28 sections for each of the lunar days along the rim. The New Year's really starts in spring, keeping us fools on April 1st as they disconnect us through our natural cycles.
Our calendar is not quite right. We're supposed to have 13 months of 28 days. With one day, the day of resurrection, Easter, as a neutral day. 65 days. Moving constellations, not 12. This thing is very close to the Mayan calendar. It's very close to several ancient Sanskrit calendars. What does sept mean?
Here we go.
7.
I thought that was the 9th month. What does oct mean? What does no mean? What does det mean?
7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month.
9th, and 10th month.
Jan is 11.
Feb is 12.
March
is 13.
April is our first month. Babies are born in the spring, the 1st of April, Easter. This our New Year's start of spring, when the flowers start coming up, the grass starts coming up, the trees start leafing out, the babies are born. That's the first day. Our neutral day, day one, the day we rest and celebrate the resurrection, the new beginning, the beginning of Christ. April is month one. And then we lost a month in there. Where is it?
Anyway.
Yeah. No, that was
interesting. So why do you think, Nathan, they changed it from a 13-month calendar starting in April to a 12-month starting in January?
Okay. It's a good
What's your
question.
theory on that?
My theory on that would be the fact that they just want to, like everything else in this world and this life that they have inverted, is it's another way of inverting just our just time. Like we have time is one of the things that we can't get back, right? It's one of the things that like it just is going to keep on going. And this is another way for us, the deception that we don't even, when we talk about every day is a fake reality, even the day that you're tracking right now is the wrong day. You think, what I mean, we're not even in the right month, not even the right time of year. It's completely inverted. It's again to throw us out with just being synchronized. Everything is to disrupt our synchronicity with this earth, with this realm, with being in touch with, now I'm not trying to sound, too much, again, I was called New Age, but I'm like, there is a certain level of being in sync and in tune with the things of nature. And so it just seems out of balance. Everything seems out of balance again. It's like, and so is our time. Our time is out of balance. Even daylight savings time. That's just to keep us working like that. It's the whole intention with that was after World War I was to keep us, the man working longer, to keep the day, to track the day at a different time. So we're at work more again to feed the capitalist society. So everything is just to throw us out of balance, in my opinion. And it's 100% with the calendars and the months is it's the same thing. It's just to throw us out of balance.
100%. And I even brought up like, well, yeah, it's to throw us off balance, is to make us weak and to get us out of sync with like the natural rhythm and the natural
Yes.
harmony of God's creation. And you see this with them changing music from 432 to 440 hertz,
hmm
right? It's just another tactic to like get us out of balance, out of harmony with nature and with each other too.
And I wonder how much it just disrupts our nervous system. Like one thing I know that like as I get older, everything's about regulate your nervous system, regulate your nervous system, and you just wonder how much of this between time, the 5G towers, our music, what we're absorbing, just what we're absorbing through our eyes, through screen time, different things a day, how much of that is throwing off not just our nervous system, but I mean, is it affecting our cells, our DNA, different things like that? That's to me, that's how deep it goes. Like, you yourself, I myself, we all emit a frequency. We all put off, we have an energy sphere around us, right? And so, that's like I said, we go into your clothing. Your clothing has everything is energy. Everything is energy. And I think everything that they have done is to whatever they can do to disrupt that energy, right? And whatever they can do to just
Weaken us.
extract from us again. Everything is an extraction of what is good. Everything's an extraction of what is good and harmonious. And it's like, man,
It's exhausting.
it does. It's exhausting and it frustrates to live in daylights because like I get so like when I drive around, I see these 5G towers and I see how much I'm like it's just blasting through our homes and
Yep.
blasting through our cars, and we're like because we can't see the radio waves and different things. I'm like, how much of that is just throwing us off, throwing nature off? We
Well, look at
talked
the bees. Like the
look at the
bees are all dying.
fireflies. How about the fireflies?
The ladybugs.
Lightning bugs, it's lightning bugs. Don't be hating on the lightning bugs. But seriously, it is. It's like I wonder how much of like you've seen different things. I've seen different videos where they've got horses running around in a circle, and they've got whales or different things. Breaching upon the shore, like all these whales found on the seashore somewhere. And it's like you wonder how much of the testing and different things that they're doing is, and just this, like just our normal everyday lives. Like I said, from spraying the skies to always like how much it's just throwing off the natural, like you said, rhythm of this world. And it's frustrating because you're just like, that's when you get to the point, like, again, it's like, what are you going to do? What can we do? How can we actually make a change, against this,
Well,
and so
I've
it's,
seen like, so I'm always like a solution kind of girly. I'm like, so what do we do about it? Like, so what, And so I
Mhm.
saw some people in the comments of like the calendar deception stuff. They're like, who with me wants to like revert back to that? Like, we can pretend April 1st is the start of the year and like, like we can kind of live simultaneously with the true calendar as well, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Well, that's where that
Like
whole
obviously we had to live in the matrix, we had to live in the world, but
it's
like we can still
it's
kind of
funny you
sync
say
ourselves
that.
to the true calendar.
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny you say it because you brought that April Fool's Day. That was the whole point. Like that's a lot of what it is. Was the April Fool's Day was around that people were so celebrating the Gregorian calendar and not the Julian calendar. So there are people that were like, say that happens, like, hey, let's go back to April being the start of the year. Well, that you were called a fool. We were made fun of. You was a target for,
Yeah,
just
it's
being
just like
humiliation
conspiracy
for.
theorist, exactly.
Yeah. So it's
But I
like,
think we've gotten to the point where like we've broken free from that.
right.
Like
I don't
it doesn't
care.
affect us. I don't care. Call me a fool because I know I'm like living
So
in the truth.
I'll
Like I
give you a
don't care.
prime.
It doesn't affect me.
I'll give you a prime example. It's so funny. This just happened to me there earlier this week at work. I can never say earlier this week. I almost like earlier with a W.
Earlier.
Earlier. So earlier this. So anyways, I hate the English language.
I'm gonna call this out.
I hate the English language. But my boss. So I hand him a receipt. But it was one of the receipts from it was from a store, like an invoice from a store, and I hand him this receipt. And if you know anything about receipts, like they hand out at the grocery store and at your fast food restaurants,
The chemicals.
highly chemicalized. Yeah, because so many chemicals on these things, and it's like it messes up your
endocrine system.
Yes. And so I hand him this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cute.
Preach, God. Preach. Yeah. Yeah. So
You like that one?
Yeah. So like I hand it, like I had a paper towel in my hand and I hand it. So I hold the receipt and I give it to him like that. He's like, Anderson, he's like, you just gotta stop being so weird. I'm like, you realize I said, Yeah, they call me Anderson. Yeah, they just call me my last name. Yeah, like, you gotta stop being so freaking weird. And I'm like, well, I said, just Google it. I said, immediately, I said, just Google, receipts, cancer, or receipts, chemicals, or whatever. I'm like, or, like, that's all you gotta do. Just, I said, I'm not doing this again to be, oh, well, hey, man, let me show you this new,
Contrarian or
yeah,
like
let me
I'm
look at this
better
new
than you.
weird thing I'm doing, hey, check me out, bro. It's like,
Like I
no.
literally just don't want cancer. Is
It's
that
like,
okay,
this is just
boss?
one less thing I want to put on my body, right? Like, is this, he's just like, well, it's like, he's like, you're just going too far. It's like, you're too far out in left field. I said, well, maybe you're too far out in right. That's like,
Ugh.
and I said, and the same thing, like when people say you're going off the deep end, I'm like, well, you're too much in the shallow end with your shallow
Ooh,
thoughts
flip
and
the
your
script, flip the
shallow
script.
opinions and your shallow judgments and
Dang, I
so it's
like
like
that.
you get to a point, like you say, where you don't care and you're just like, I'm doing this for my own personal benefit. I'm not, as long as I'm not, being bombastic about it and I guess trying to enforce my opinions and thoughts upon in
Yeah,
your life.
you just don't want to touch it. You're not saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, can you grab
No.
this with a paper towel?"
Yeah, exactly.
You're not imposing
No.
them.
And it's like, I'm not even inviting it for a conversation. I'm like, hey, boss, so look at me with my receipt, like, hey, so do you want to know why I'm doing this? Like this is,
No, you
it's
literally
like,
didn't say anything.
didn't say a word, just like, hey, here you go. And then of course that's, that of course it sparks a conversation and then it leads to be kind of made fun of and kind of, it's just like, whatever. Almost like at this point, I'm like, whatever. They don't understand you and they have a problem with that. Like, I think people have a hard, because again, everybody wants to categorize you and put you into a field somewhere. Like everybody wants to put you in a group somewhere. It's like, if you don't go with the group, well, you're weird. Something's off, what's going on with you? You know what I mean? It's just like, so if they can't put you into a category, they don't like that, right? Because everybody wants to feel accepted in their group think mentality. So it's like, well, what's up with him? There's always something. So it's like, no, I'm just trying to make some incremental changes in my life. And this is one of the ones just like, I don't understand people like when you like this information. Now, granted, like you said, okay, you've been presenting new information on a subject, that should you change, what do you do now with that information, right? And like I say, just like with the receipts thing, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not going to physically, as much as I can, I'm going to physically restrict myself from handling receipts, with my contact on my skin, you know what I mean? Like, so that's just using your head, you know what I mean? First of all, for your own protection. And then, as we're going to talk about with Easter, it's going to be an interesting thing. It's like, okay, what do we, how do we do,
What do we
do
do
about
about it?
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's what I would do about it, like about the true calendar. Like just when everyone else is celebrating New Year's in January, like you literally just know in your brain, we're still in the dead of winter, like the New Year's in April. Like I'm allowed to like continue to hibernate and like maybe I don't set my New Year's resolution in the dead of winter, but like I set it in spring, whatever. Like however you want to like readjust your life in order to get more in touch with the natural rhythm of life, do it. That's all I'm saying.
And I think wish we did, like you said, what you just mentioned, like hibernate, like what the animals are doing. Like,
Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, I gotta like get on the gym and like I gotta like set all these crazy resolutions when I have no energy and I'm tired and it's
well,
dark." Like, don't worry. Do it in April when it's the
and,
true New Year. Like
and it's like
hibernate, relax, like
yes, and
do
it's
what
like
you need to do in January.
you wonder why all of us are burnt out. Like so many people it's like, because we are in constant go mode, 24 hours a freaking day, 365 days, 364 days a year, like we are constantly in this survival, gotta go, gotta get, gotta work. Like we don't get a break. And it's like, here we are. Like, I know, like, just like the seasons used to be like harvest season. And then there was, a time for, hibernation season. Like, yeah, there's time to rest, time to recalibrate, time to
There's a season for this, a season for
enjoy
that. We'll find the Bible verse
exactly
with like
the
it's a time for mourning, a
yes,
time for weeping, a
yes.
time for
And it's like, and here we are again during a period of time where we're probably supposed to be recalibrating, just resting, enjoying our harvest, right? Yeah, and it's
Give
just
yourself
very
grace in the winter. January, don't feel like you need to set any crazy New Year's resolutions. Like rest, hibernate.
well, kind of like while we're on that hustle and bustle thing. I have a video here talking about the hustle and bustle of because it is. It's like we're just People are exhausted because we don't have time. We just don't have time to rest anymore. We're just absolutely exhausted. So let me share my screen here.
I'm tired, boss.
Here, and let's
Wake up.
ready? Yeah.
8 glasses of water a day. Pay your rent. Cook. Meal prep. Health ingredients. No takeaway. Gym. Yoga. Meditate. Content creation. Content calendar. Make more money. Money. Da-da-da-da-da. Kiss your mom. Kiss your dad. Friend's birthday party. Ramadan. Sleep 8 hours a night. Job in the next morning. Job 5 days a week. 2 days weekend. Sleep. Yo. So many stuff. I don't know how you guys do it. Genuinely, I don't know how you guys do it. March was a blur. This whole year has been a blur already. Personally, I actually have nothing to say about this year. Has it even started? We don't know. How the hell am I supposed to do all of this? Huh? Like, can I just sleep? Wake 8.
Money. The comments, and we must bath every day. Mind you, there's period pains in between. And Monday.
And also, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about people who have children?
Yes.
We were just talking about this the other day, Nathan and I. I'm like, add children on top of that. Like, I do not understand how parents do it. Like, I can barely manage my own life. Who is that?
It's just so many stuff. and Mondays coming around every 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I want to cry and laugh at this.
Oh, that's funny because there's the comment. Yeah, imagine that plus kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's the moms, drop off, lunchbox, homework, school project,
Oh my
pick up,
gosh.
bath time, kiss your child.
We need
2
to
days.
just give a moment of silence for the moms. A moment of applause for the mothers out there. Oh my god.
Protein and fiber. Me running away from my responsibilities. Shoot. Every darn day with back pains and stomach issues too. It's insane. And so it's like you don't ever get so again, you have these calendar these things that just keep you in this constant pattern of work, life, no hibernation, no time for rest, no time for breaks. You just got to constantly perform. And you wonder why people are just absolutely exhausted. I'm sorry.
We're
sorry,
gonna pivot
I
soon
apologize.
after this.
Yeah,
This
we're
better
gonna
be
pivot right
fire.
back. I don't know if it's.
This better be.
I can't remember
Better
if
be
it's fire.
Firefly right now.
I can't remember if it's better. See, there you go. Look at that. That's perfect. I like it. This better be such a firefly right now. That'll be our new every time we have a
Inside joke.
meme. Yeah. Put the firefly up. It's gonna be a firefly meme right here, boys. All right, here we go.
Put your lightning bug one up.
Well, while we were talking about the constant hustle and bustle, there's so many of these videos that come up across my feed because I'm like one of those ones. I'm like, I'm so done with work. I'm so done with it. But anyway, good.
I don't want a job. I don't want to work. Why do people act like that's a crazy thing to say? I didn't even ask to be alive. You know what's crazy? Let's say you send off 20 applications, like I did, and you get one interview. Now you have to sit at this bullshit table with these bullshit people and tell them, yes, if I was offered a better opportunity than this one, then I wouldn't take it because I'm loyal to this job that I haven't even started yet. And they know you're lying. They know that every single person who walks through their doorway is giving a performance. But that's what they're judging, the performance, because we're all actors playing a script we didn't write. And it's all bullshit. And then they ask, what drives you? Being homeless? You know what doesn't drive me? Waking up at 7 a.m. and thinking, oh yes, I can't wait to make spreadsheets and send emails.
What drives you? Being homeless? What's your dream job? I don't dream of working. We are all pretending. Jobs are a scam. Money's a scam. Time is a scam. It's like, oh man, It is. It's just, it's such a terrible, like you said, as a truth, like putting on the performance of it. I don't know about you, but I know for me, it's like,
so
it's,
hard. There we go.
there we
Sorry
go.
about that.
Okay. You're good.
We're back. All
Yeah.
right. So do you want to pivot to
Yeah.
Ishtar or whatever?
Yeah. So let me share one video on that first, and then we'll go into the discussion points on it. This is one to kind of start off, I guess, thoughts of Easter. So here we go.
Easter is completely demonic and pagan. It comes from the celebration and the worship of the fertility god Ishtar, pronounced Easter. In celebration of this false deity, on Easter Sunday, 70 virgins are impregnated. The following Easter, the 3-month-old infants are sacrificed to Ishtar. The eggs are then dipped into the blood, which is where this tradition came from. Here's Ishtar holding a bunny rabbit. Rabbits are known for their energetic breeding. They're a symbol of fertility, which is why I stopped reading translations like the King James, because they added in the word Easter over Passover, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Look what it says in the Geneva Bible, intending after the Passover to bring him forth to the people. If you go in the Blue Letter Bible and you click on Easter, it comes up as Pesach, not Easter, of Aramaic origin. Look, H6453. Click on that, takes you to Pesach, which is Passover. This is why I'm reading the Restoration Scriptures, which has all these pagan names and things removed, intending after Pesach, Passover, to bring him out to the people. Stop telling people Happy Easter. You are literally worshiping Ishtar, the fertility goddess. Stop celebrating it in the first place, because it has nothing to do with the Messiah. After Constantine decided to Christianize his empire, Easter was then changed to represent Jesus, but its roots are Easter, about celebrating fertility. And they want you to go around telling people Happy Easter, because Yahuwah already told us not to invoke the names of other gods.
Okay. So
Firefly.
yeah, Firefly. That was a lightning bug. I've ever seen one.
Dude, that I didn't know that about them changing Passover to Easter in the King James.
Yes, and it's only in the King James. Like that's the only version you'll find the actual name Easter in. So people were like, "Oh, it's mentioned in the Bible." It's like, well, when you understand that the Roman Catholic Church tried to incorporate the pagans, tried to appease the pagans and appease Christians at the same time. So let's incorporate some of these pagan holidays into our traditions. And you wonder, we'll get into that too with some of this presentation where even Lent is tied to the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so like it's
Yeah.
around this Tammuz type. Let's just dive into
dive
it.
right in. Let's dive right in.
What I wanted to point out was, first of all, in his video, he mentioned about the dyeing of the eggs of like the blood of the children, right? Now, when you look that up on Google, and I deep dive a lot of these things, trying like multiple pages, go through Reddit forums, go through core forums, trying to find any type of links to that. There is not a lot on the whole. Yes, the priest would come down, like I said, impregnate women. They would have the babies around the next festival.
Ugh.
They would then sacrifice those babies and then dye the eggs with the blood of the children. Now, what he mentioned, and that information was very hard for me to find, hard to verify. Now, again, this is Google, so like when you type that in, those types of like code words, sacrificial babies, Ishtar or Semiramis, or it does it. It's like, well, this was a misinformation. This is based on, this is not, you know what I mean? Like, so, but as we know, as truthers, it also
Google
tells
with the 666 in its
yes,
logo.
that they would try to cover that up. Like, that's not going to be something like, oh yeah, actually, by the way, that is 100% true. And you're celebrating a holiday that's where they would sacrifice children and cover the blood of the eggs, or cover the eggs in their blood. It's like, they're not going to come out and tell you that. But what I wanted to bring about is like on a lot of these Reddit forum links, when you even just type in Easter being pagan anymore, because I think there's a giant, just like everything else, a giant suppression of this information. So like you're going to find in some of these links, the very first thing you're going to find, like the very first one that popped up was Easter is not pagan.
Of course.
The very first Reddit forum with all the comments, the biggest title, Easter is, so it's like, it's right in your face again, and people love Reddit. And so in my opinion, one, there's a giant campaign to suppress this information. What I want to say to that is, again, I'm not sure on the blood of the babies and that, in the eggs. I can't verify that, but I will put out the fact that they will do anything to deceive us and to try to invite us into this celebration that is possibly so demonic and evil that they would 100% have a campaign of misinformation go out to us to do that. So beware of that, or just keep that in your mind, because they also tell you we're on a flying ball. You know what I mean? So it's like they're going to tell you anything that goes against the. Because if there is a huge wealth of information of this being an extremely pagan holiday, that might change the consumerist mind around Easter, right? Easter, East Star, East Star, Easter, East Star. You start to put these kind of connections together, and when you're finding these things out, when you can't help but try to think on these things. You got to think about some of these connections. So like Easter, East Star. If you know anything about the East, a lot of the Masons, almost all Mason buildings, I want to say almost, you can Google this too, are facing the East. And if they're not facing the East, their worshipful master, which is their head dude at their Mason lodges, are always facing the East, and they have the Order of the Eastern Star. So
isn't that the women's?
That's
Mason?
The women's one,
yeah.
yes. So, and you'll find out that they celebrate Easter also as a rebirth, renewal type thing.
And you know what, too? I'm just going to put this in there, too. When I was deep in the New Age movement, a lot of the Eastern meditations and like trance meditations that I used to do, they would always direct us to face east before doing it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like, again, the whole point of this goes back into the reason I bring this up is Easter, East Star, celebrating this is, again, the East. The whole point why they face the East, and you'll find out all the Masons and all the women that are also, they're always buried to facing the East. And in the Bible, that was a direct abomination to face the East, because there's a verse, you can bring it up, Amanda, or put it, whenever you could make the video, but it was where they had turned their backs to the temple and faced the East. Well, the whole point of facing the East was an Apollo sun type worship. So that's why they revered the East, right? Like to face the East is a sun renewing, this sun worship type. It's also incorporated into a lot of secret societies, and why they.
It makes sense because it's pagan. So like the sun
it's 100%
rises in the
pagan.
east and it sets in
Yes.
the west. So
Yes.
you're worshiping the creation and not the creator.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
pagan worship, which is
Yes.
the crux of Easter.
So I'm not making the connection that Easter, but I'm just saying when you think about East and Easter, it's the etymology of that word.
I
even
never
itself.
thought about that before, Nathan.
Yeah. So I just that was something that in my mind, again, when we try to make connections here on some of these things, and you'll see, I'll give you a prime example of how I made a connection researching some of this. It had nothing to do, because you're trying to find information from all these different religions, faiths, cultures, ancient history, and how it's all, webbed together, right? And you can even throw in secret societies into that, like how all this information is tied. Where does this come from? A lot of this stuff comes from Babylon and ancient, Mesopotamia and different things like that. So you're trying to find all these different, trying to put it all together, right? I'll give you a prime example. We're going to talk about Tammuz on the worship of Easter. I heard a podcast from JT Follows JC with the Men of Issachar talking about, this is just something just so simple that got brought into my information from another link, right? He was talking in his podcast. He's like, there was this king who, because he's talking about the destruction of Israel and how it doesn't have any mountains or any hills. Like they have hills, but don't have any mountains. But there was a king that talked about the mountains of Judea. And he's like, why? He's like, I'm not sure what the king is offhand. Well, of course, again, I fact check even the guys I like. So I'm fact checking JT. So I'm looking here on Google, and it says Sennacherib, or some people call him Sennacherib, but Sennacherib, who was a king of Assyria, had these prisms. Well, on this prism, I start looking at the English translation of these prisms. And the very last translation of these different columns, it's all in these different columns, he talked about the month of Tammuz. And I'm like, okay, I've been studying Tammuz on this Easter subject forever. I'm like, or for this whole week, I've been deep diving Tammuz. Here to come to find out, when I looked that up, I just copy and pasted the final sentence of that prism, Sennacherib's prism, into Google. The month of Tammuz is in the Hebrew calendar. I'm like, well, why is this pagan god, this pagan deity, in the Hebrew calendar? Well, that stems from the Hebrews when they were in captivity in Babylon for 70 years. They adopted some of Babylon's ways, and that included the celebration of Tammuz, who's a pagan, we're going to find out in this subject, one of the, originators of this Easter celebration, and just a huge pagan god and in general, and terrible worship. The Hebrews, it's still in their calendar today. And I'm like, yeah.
Today?
The Hebrew calendar that they use today still has Tammuz as like the 4th or 5th month. I can't remember. Come to find out, what I found was all of their months in their Hebrew calendar are all Babylon gods, are all Babylon deities. And I'm like,
the whore of Babylon.
Yeah, but I'm like, but again, that's a simple thing of a connection that was made through a but completely kind of blew my mind for a minute. But anyways, the Easter, I'm not saying that's completely coded into Easter, but I thought it was an interesting thing to kind of bring out and just, talk about. So go back to that presentation if you. What's that song? The Firefly. There's a song around Firefly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll add it in right now.
Yeah. That was I wish I knew the beat. I'd totally sing it right now too. I'd bust it out.
Oh yeah. I got it.
You got it?
I don't want to sing it though.
What's the beat?
Fireflies. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm talking about? Jump in here. No.
I'm not saving you.
No.
I'm not saving you. You have to keep that in too. I'm not saving you. Okay. So if you go, when you look at the Easter, a lot of it goes back to, Ishtar, but there's also this Ostara. That's where I got the Wikipedia brought up. Ostara is this Anglo-Saxon. Can you still see me?
Yeah, but do you want me to click on it?
No, you can. Yeah, you go ahead if you want to. You want to kind of scroll down while I'm talking about it. Yeah, go ahead.
So the second link right here?
Yeah.
First second link? Okay.
Yeah, second link, Ostara.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So what I would like to point out is, yes, it was an Anglo-Saxon deity goddess that was mentioned by this Bede in the 8th century. And it ties into, she's a fertility goddess. Obviously, we talked about with the bunnies and how that's probably the most, you can scroll down, it says possible connection to Eastern hares. And obviously we know people make all kinds of connotations to they made it like rabbits, that's a very common theme of rabbits and that.
Well, because I think, isn't it that rabbits are the most fertile
yes, and
creatures?
they're people now, a lot of homesteading people are getting into breeding rabbits because they breed so often. Because I think they're I don't call it gestation. What is that? What is it?
It's shorter gestation period.
Yeah. Right. I was right. See.
You got
Anyways,
it.
I got it. Anyways, it is a much shorter time, right? So people are using rabbits now as meat rabbits and stuff instead of other animals because it's a lot quicker turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, Ostara, they also call her. It's a holiday name for a goddess as part of it. And it's what I found interesting was it is in modern paganism and modern culture, it's celebrated by the Wiccan. Well, the Wiccan or Wicca is another. It's a neo-pagan religious movement. Because what do we put the eggs in, Amanda? What do the eggs? A wicker basket. It goes into a wicker basket. So the Wicca also stems from the etymology of that is witchcraft. And so the Wicca and the Wiccan celebrate this, or I guess venerate this Ostara, you could call it, Easter, and this goddess, because they're a pagan religion. They're a neo-pagan religion. They're a pantheistic religion. And so they have there's a lot of witchcraft embedded into this goddess that, again, this Easter stems from. Their deity is this horned god. Okay. So again, these are making connections. Maybe I'm going too far with this, but I like to look so you have a neo-pagan religion that venerates this goddess of where this holiday stems from. Well, guess what that neo-pagan religion also worships? They worship this horned god, sometimes known as Pan, sometimes known as
Oh,
Baphomet.
pantheism.
Yes, pantheism.
Pantheism.
You have this whole Baphomet, and you know the whole point with the horned god. The horned god, it represents balance. You know, it's man and creation, right? So that's the whole point of this. You have this as above, so below. You've always seen.
Hermaphrodite. It has breasts, but also has a
Yes, it's
Yeah.
masculine, feminine. You know that whole duality, right? It's the whole duality, and like, I throw in that Rothschild's picture too because I remember seeing this image of this like the horn, the antlers. There's something, you know, they have a very much to me, that's connected to all of this, right? So you have this religion, this neo-pagan religion, who's big into witchcraft, who's big into venerating Oestre, who, again, we celebrate, whose etymology is tied to Easter. And these are part of the things that they worship. Okay, well, go into the next slide, if you would. That'll lean in. So again, this is just things to think about, right? These are thoughts, food for thought. Okay, so when we was talking about the Wicca, I got to think about the Wicker Man. And so I found this link about pagan origins of Easter, and it says, Jesus' sacrifice on the cross bears many similarities to the Celtic tradition of burning the Wicker Man, traditionally observed on Beltane or May Day, taking place on the 1st of May. I don't know about you, but I had a May Day when I was in school. We had a May Day celebration. A sacrifice was made by burning animals and humans inside a giant wicker statue. Not only were the sacrifices made in the hopes of harvest blessings, but the ash from this symbol of the cyclical nature of life and death was believed to help crops grow. So they would burn people alive, and then they would use the ashes from these people to spread on their fields to help grow the crops. Yeah, this isn't crazy whatsoever, right?
That's a sacrifice. That's a ritual sacrifice.
Exactly. So he goes on to continue in this article that's linked in the word books right there.
Do you want me to click on it?
If you can if you want, but I mean I'm reading directly from it here with some of these quotations. It says the Christian story of Christ's crucifixion and resurrection mirrors these themes of sacrificial death and renewal. Just as the Wicker Man's offerings were meant to bring new life to the community, Christ's sacrifice is an act of salvation, bringing spiritual renewal to all humanity. The cross, like the Wicker Man, became a symbol of death, transformed into renewal, a symbol of suffering turned into redemption. Although the Christian celebration of Easter isn't a direct derivative of a pagan festival, many of its traditions and symbols were absorbed from ancient pagan customs. From the calendrical placement of Easter, closely tied to the spring equinox and governed by lunar cycles, to familiar symbols of eggs, hares, and themes of rebirth, Easter incorporates Christian theology with age-old celebration of fertility, renewal, and the reawakening of the natural world following winter. Wow. So you have these Celtic, Anglo-Saxon, Babylonian, Egyptian, all these different ancient cultures and societies that had their offshoots of these celebrations of Easter, right? And the Wicker Man, or burning the wicker, was one of them. And I remember watching, again, there's a movie called The Wicker Man that's, again, it's based around these pagan rituals. Well, not the Nick Cage one either, not the Nicolas Cage. There's a one from like the 1970s that was.
Is that why you put Nicolas Cage in?
Yeah. There's a movie. Oh yeah, there's a Wicker Man movie with Nicolas Cage in it. Yeah. I also got to think, because I remember watching this movie, and I do not, as a Christian, one, you should never watch this movie. Two, even if, truth or confessions, I was big into horror movies that was big into them, but I liked horror movies. Do you hear my dogs in the background going nuts?
Yeah, I'd hear them. I need to go use the restroom too.
Okay, let's take a pause.
Okay, we'll take a pause.
Yes. Yeah. So that also brought out the movie Midsommar. Do not ever watch the movie Midsommar. It's one of those movies that, like, you ever had a movie, it just like changes, it messes with your mind. I mean, like, obviously horror movies are meant to, you're inviting different things into your spirit, into your energy, into your, it's just like, it's not, that's why they're to me, it's like, it's that'll be a Halloween discussion, but they're terrible for you. But Midsommar was one of those ones that just like chemically alter my brain. But it was also based around these Easter fertility type rituals, right? And that's what came to mind when I started doing research on some of this. I'm like, okay, that movie was totally based around, again, these ancient ritual, and it was the same concept. It was this time they needed to impregnate this one of their women, and they found these American people on a vacation entice them to come, act like completely normal people, and end up, they're this crazy society that has these rituals every so often, and they ended up putting people inside, not a wicker man, but a different type of structure, and burned these people alive. Those movies are not, there's just ideas that like they just came up, like these are adaptations of some of these cultures and what they did. And so when you're thinking about Easter, okay, that's just the wicker part of it, right? Like, so the eggs are obviously tied to the rabbits and the fertility and all that different things, but like there are so many just small elements, even when you think about it, of why they use these certain things in Easter that are all tied back to paganism and just pure evil. And so even Pisansky was another, it's a Ukrainian thing. It's a Ukrainian ritual that they use when they dye their eggs. So again, every culture has their adaptation of it. So and a lot of it, I guess the origins stem back to this Semiramis. And Semiramis was the mother of Tammuz and was the wife of Nimrod. We all know about Nimrod, who was one of the most, I guess he was like half man, half god. But Tammuz was, again, they have adopted, there's so much that's tied into this Tammuz character. Anyways, Tammuz is actually mentioned in the Bible. Yeah, Ezekiel 8:14, he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Lord, and I saw women sitting there mourning the god Tammuz. And then Jeremiah 7:18 is in reference to Semiramis. And it says, the children gather wood and the fathers kindle the fire. The women knead their dough to make cakes to the queen of heaven. She's referenced as the queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. So again, you have these characters mentioned are also in the Bible as these pagan gods, pagan deities. They're Babylonian gods. And when you click on this Reddit link, it says, according to folklore, Easter recognized under various names like Ishtar, Astarte, Asheroth, Semiramis, and biblically the one revered by idolaters as the Queen of Heaven in Jeremiah 7:18. It's commonly believed the widow of Nimrod, who was the first on the earth to be a mighty and powerful man, and the mother of Tammuz. She is portrayed as a pagan fertility goddess, often depicted bare-breasted and originating from the east. The legend describes her descent from heaven within a giant egg, landing in the Euphrates River during sunrise on the first Sunday following the vernal equinox. It is said that upon emerging from the egg, she transformed a bird into an egg-laying rabbit. To honor this event, pagan sun worshippers would gather early in the morning and face eastward to witness their sun gods rise over the horizon. Following this, they would partake in a mass ritual, often involving sacrifice. In these ceremonies, the priests of the Easter would impregnate so this kind of goes to that John Truth video, would impregnate young virgins on the altar at sunrise on Easter Sunday. And John Truth, and this is what I'm talking about, like finding what this guy's talking about, what John Truth talked about, trying to find this information, I'm telling you, they're scrubbing so much of this. The following Easter, the priests would sacrifice these now 3-month-old babies and dye the eggs of Easter in their blood. These blood-colored eggs were believed to hatch on December 25th, the same day as the birth of her son Tammuz. Considering
December 20th.
Exactly. So this Tammuz character, you're going to find out, Amanda, was not only, he's also believed to have died and been reborn, similar to Christ. He was also, born on December 25th, when we celebrate Christmas, and supposedly Christ's birthday, which we know is not, but that, so it's like how many, on December 25th, like, are we celebrating Christ or are we celebrating Tammuz?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
All of the holidays. That's
all
the
of this
larger conversation.
Like, I never knew this Tammuz character was born. I'm like, what if all of that's an ancient Babylonian worship or ritual?
It is.
Like, all of us celebrate, like, we always talk like Christmas was like, well, it's just, Christ was born someday. It's like, well, what if it was all around this Tammuz character? I've never even heard of Tammuz until I started researching some of this. I mean, like I said, he's even mentioned in the Bible. But of course, it would make sense that we're now celebrating a pagan god as Christ's birthday,
right,
every single year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, and you can Google that. Like, I know this is just a Reddit comment, but Google when Tammuz was born, and it's December 25th.
Back to the slides. Yeah,
you're fine.
That's good. Tammuz. I never heard of this
Yeah.
character, but you're right. It's biblical.
Yeah. So
and it's funny that all of our holidays revolve around these ancient pagan gods. There's nothing new under the sun.
No. So it
And
says
if we are truly in like Satan season, like obviously he would have us be worshiping and venerating these gods under the guise of Christianity.
Yes.
Like, obviously.
Yes. 100%. It says According to folklore, following on from the death of Nimrod, his now widowed wife and queen Semiramis, Easter, married and entered into a sexual relationship with her son Tammuz, whom she deified as the reincarnate sun god. Tammuz met his demise while hunting wild pigs, fatally gored by a boar. And that's also, side note, that's why a lot of people have. He even mentions, this is purportedly the origins of the tradition of consuming ham on Easter among pagans. Additionally, Tammuz's death at the age of 40 led pagans to observe a fast. This is where it gets interesting with the Catholics and possibly Constantine incorporating this into the church and the pagans trying to connect them together. It says, at the age of 40, led pagans to observe a fast, allegedly lasting 1 day for each year of his life. This is likely the biblically mentioned practice of weeping for Tammuz, Ezekiel 8:14. In Catholic tradition, this fasting period is referred to as Lent. So imagine now that these Catholics are practicing Lent that are in honor of
Isn't there
Tammuz.
something with the ash too? Like that used to be a part of the pagan ritual too?
Yes, we don't need to get
Like,
into that,
the
but yes,
people that they burned, whatever, then they would put
Yes.
the marking of the ash on their
There is
forehead.
so much that's tied to these Catholics from these
It's a
ancient.
pagan ritual.
Yes.
There's nothing biblical about it.
And then continuing on, it says, there is no mention of Easter in the Bible, nor is its celebration mandated. These holidays are ancient pagan feasts that were ushered in by the Roman Catholic Church during the reign of Emperor Constantine. He was a pagan follower of the sun god Mithra, who had thought that he was a Christian experience that led him to victory in battle. He aimed to unify his empire, encompassing both Christian and pagan populations under a single universal Catholic religion. To accomplish this, he assimilated ancient wisdom and spiritual elements from various cultures and beliefs. This involved revising historical narratives and assigning Christian names to previously pagan festivities, beginning at the Council of Nicaea in 325 A.D. And he mentions a Bible verse that says, see it to that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. So, yeah. I mean, I guess the conclusion of the matter is this. You cannot, in good spirit or in good faith, good conscience, tell me that these are not direct correlations, even if they're not all connected. Even if just part of this is connected, what does a bunny and eggs have to do with Christ's resurrection? Like,
Absolutely nothing.
you cannot reconcile the two. And to say it's just an innocent celebration or again, that is exactly what Satan does to the mind. He takes and does to this world. He takes simple things like bunny eggs and, bunnies and wicker baskets. And then he incorporates that into our everyday human life, everyday year of our life, and passes it down generation to generation, year after year. We are subtly, obviously not intentionally, but subtly venerating pagan gods and cultures, practices. People are obviously going to have points of contention on this and going to argue this, and I don't celebrate it as a pagan, it's like, but you're celebrating elements of it, right? And you're continuing this practice on and on and on and on and on, and you can justify it in your mind all you want, and you can Google it to death of it's not tied to, it's not tied to this pagan god. It's like, just look at some of the origins, like I said, Easter, Oestre, look at it's absolutely incorporated. And if you know anything about the Roman Catholic Church and trying to unify, the pagans and the Christians, it's 100% incorporated into this. And you can't now know this information and be like,
I'm still going to have my children participate in an ancient pagan ritual.
yeah, so what? No big deal. And there comes the apathy again and the indifference. And do I think you're going to be like, I don't hold people accountable or, they're going to, nobody knows how God's going to judge us. And, we all pray for grace and mercy on all of us and what we do and what we've practiced and what we've said. But it's hard for me to once you know this information now to
Sit down.
Zeke's front and center.
Sorry, Zeke.
No, you're good.
Sit down, Zeke.
You're good. It's hard for me now to go forward in life, continuing to replicate this pattern, right? And to ignore this information, ignore these connections, knowing how much we have been lied to, we have been deceived, and to innocently practice, in our heads, we've been innocently practicing this and doing this for our whole lives, never knowing why. Like, we don't know why we ever was given these traditions. We just know that, okay, we have Christmas, and then we have Valentine's Day, and then we have Easter, and then we have, we just know that the cycle continues. We were never really explained, well, the origins of this. We just knew that come this time of year, it's Easter's coming back around again. You know what I mean? Let's go have our egg hunts, and let's go dye our eggs. And it's like, why do we have to continue these traditions? Why do we have to continue these practices? Like, why can't we just start your own traditions that's not rooted in an ancient pagan fertility goddess? You know what I mean? It's like,
I was like, if I were to have a family, like, I don't have children, I'm not married, but if I were to have a family, you know what I would do on Easter? I would do what Jesus called us to do, be the hands and feet of Christ. So, like, I would go feed the homeless or, like, help the poor. Like, that's what I would do to venerate Christ's sacrifice for us. Like, do something that he would be proud of us, not participate in pagan rituals.
yeah.
Like, do something that, like, would
Yeah.
venerate and show respect for the God that died for you on that day.
And that's the worst part. We didn't even talk about how much it's supplanting the Christ resurrection. Like, it's completely supplanting the whole point of it,
I gotta get you in here. Sorry, he
which
is
is his
adorable.
resurrection.
You're adorable, Zeke. He's literally just always by my side.
That's
okay,
cute.
sorry.
But yeah, you're fine. But yeah, it's like, that's, besides it being a pagan holiday that we're celebrating, it's taking place of the most important thing that was ever given to mankind, which was Christ's resurrection and death. And now through that, we have a hope of heaven with him through his
Eternal
sacrifice. Yes, like it's completely taking over this narrative. Like, and so many churches celebrate this, in their Sunday service, incorporating this Easter with Christ's resurrection. It's like, how are you mixing these two together? I mean, it'd be different if it's all you strictly celebrated was Christ's resurrection. Like, yes, celebrate that. Absolutely.
Get rid of the Easter egg hunts. Get rid of freaking sackcloth races.
Yeah.
Wicker basket. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
all of it. I would just get rid of
all of it
all
needs
of
to go.
it.
Yeah, all of it needs to
all
go.
of it that doesn't have to do with the resurrection of Christ. Have a
Nothing.
meal go to church if you want in the morning. Have a nice meal with your family. Venerate Christ.
And the
do
thing
something
is,
for Christ.
And this isn't off note, I guess, a side note for me. I guess what's always bugged me too personally. Okay, so yeah, you have this tradition. Well, it's time for family. It's like, why can't you just get together to get together? This has always bugged me just from a personal standpoint of families, like needing a holiday reason to get together, right? Like, well, Easter brings us together, or Thanksgiving brings us together, or it's like, why can't you just set aside time throughout your life in general to get together?
That's a great point.
Just
why do you have to wait for the government or society to tell you when to hang out with your family?
An ordained holiday, then an ordained government holiday. Why does that
holiday?
So I don't like that scapegoat answer either. To me, it's a scapegoat. Like, oh well, that's the only time we can get together. It's like, I would.
It doesn't have to be.
I would challenge that, right? Now, maybe Christmas, yeah, you get a few more days off, so that makes more sense. Like, you have more time to get together, like maybe, but like days, yeah, like Easter, no, I don't get Easter off. It's like, so just set aside time, to spend time, because that's the whole point. The whole point isn't really and that's what people argue, like, well, it's not really the point of celebrating, the Easter egg hunts with the kids, it's just being together, and it's like, okay, well, then just get together and just have a good time with one another's company, play some board games, play some card games, whatever it may be. It's like,
start a new game, make your own game with your kids.
Yeah,
that's not pagan.
Yeah,
like, you can literally think about your own game to play with your kids on that day. You don't need to do all these ancient pagan rituals that venerate disgusting gods.
So what are your thoughts on them? Do you think that we should not, like, based on your tone, I'm gathering that it's like, absolutely not.
Okay. Hell no. Come on, wait to the no. Come on. Hell to the no. To the no. Come on. Hell no. To the no. To the no.
Yeah, my family will go to mass in the morning, and then they'll do brunch at my aunt's house. And, I have a bunch of like nieces and nephews, and they'll do sackcloth races. We'll do an Easter egg hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure we eat ham too.
Oh yeah, ham's a big thing.
I'm pretty sure like
Mhm.
a honey baked ham.
Yeah.
So how I'm going to approach it, like I'm obviously going to still be with my family that day. Am I going to participate in the Easter egg hunt this year? No. Even though they do like one that has like $60 bill in it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they do
I've
like an
been.
adult style Easter egg hunt where there's like money in it.
That's so funny, Amanda. We do the exact same Easter egg hunt. Or we
Yeah, where
used
there's like a
to.
$20 bill or like
No, yeah, mom.
the
It's
adults can play. Yeah.
it's an adult money egg hunt for all of us siblings. Like we would have. There's 4 siblings. You know, I got 3 sisters, so it's a money egg hunt for us siblings. They
Mhm.
stopped that, years ago. But anyways, yeah, that was
Yeah.
obviously enticing as, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was fun. But it's like, and that's like the part of you. It's like, okay, yeah, it was kind of fun. But again, it's like, what is this? What is this rooted around? Like, what is? And I at that time, I hadn't understood some of these
Yeah, we didn't
subjects.
know. Like,
Didn't
yeah.
know.
But we do now,
Um,
and like I can't in good conscience like do these pagan rituals.
yeah.
Like, but again, am I going to isolate myself from my family? Am I not going to be there on Easter Sunday? Like, no, I'll still go, and maybe, if they ask me, are you going to do the Easter egg hunt? I say no. If they ask me why, I might share why. I'm not going to say it in like a pretentious way, but just like,
You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
it could be like a opportunity to share the truth about the origins of Easter with them. So I'm not going to participate, but I'm still going to go and be there with my family. And if, God willing, I do have a family of my own one day, no way am I going to do an Easter egg hunt with my
Yeah.
kids. I'm going to think of
Not a chance.
something
Not a
cooler
chance.
and more fun to do than an Easter egg hunt for them to do that day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with that. I said you get to a point where you don't want to be a Debbie Downer. You don't want to be like, oh, you just never
A
want to engage.
contrarian.
Well, you
or
just never
you're-
want to engage in anything anymore. It's like, well, you've always got something that's like, oh, that's evil, that's wrong. It's like, yeah, well, a lot of it is. like,
Yeah, we
it's
live
like,
in a fallen world, you guys. Like,
we
obviously,
don't,
our holidays are corrupted. Obviously,
yes.
everything is corrupted.
And it's like, we don't want this information to be what it is. It's like I said, like when I came to biblical cosmology and different things, it's like, I don't want this to be true. I didn't ask for this to be true. We didn't ask for these things to be rooted in, these pagan holidays to be rooted in, and some of these
Right.
crazy sacrifices. It's like, we didn't want to come to this understanding. It's now there. And so it's, your Holy Spirit inside of you is telling you like, hey, you shouldn't be engaging it. You know what I mean? Like there's that conscious
Yeah.
part of you, like as the Holy Spirit moves through you, you're just like, I don't think this is right.
I get like a
So
sickening in my stomach kind of feeling. Like,
yeah. And so
and
like
the day that we're supposed to be like venerating what Jesus did for us, this is how we show our veneration for Jesus, by worshiping ancient pagan gods.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst. Like, it's just such a spit in the face, and like
It is.
it's disgusting. Like,
It's
now knowing what the origins are, like I'm not gonna partake. Like, that's just so rude to our like Messiah. Like,
and
it's
like
just
I
rude.
see like
It's disrespectful.
I see my mom getting and they're getting the like all the Easter decorations out. And here's my other thing I'm gonna add to this. And this is
Oh,
why
and there's probably gnomes.
oh
And I'm
yeah.
not judging, because I used to love putting up Easter gnomes, and I put up like Christmas gnomes. Isn't that funny how there's always some type of like, I don't know, I want to say witchcraft. I don't know, like
Well,
it's just kind of like occult, like gnomes in your home and like elf on a shelf. Like, why do we
Oh
do
yeah,
that?
yeah. We haven't
We'll
done
get
it.
into
Yeah,
that in the
what do you know?
Christmas episode,
Yeah,
but
we
like
will.
it's just interesting that they incorporate gnomes in like like
Fairy
just
gardens and different things like that. Yeah.
fairies during Easter. Don't you think that's weird?
Yeah,
Anyway.
no, that's a good point. But I think the other point I wanted to make on this is the problem I have with all of this, with Easter included, is again, we're talking about the whole point to becoming awake and becoming a truther is what you're doing, what I'm doing, we are breaking patterns. We're breaking cycles, right? Yes, the whole point, you're breaking out of the matrix. Well, how do you break? You have to break these cycles and patterns. And that requires cutting off some of these things out of your life. And that requires, for you to grow, man, the roots, you got to cut it down to the roots, man. And it's like, you just have to, it's also based around this consumerism. Like what drives me insane is again, this cycle of consumerism of all these holidays that are obviously intentionally in our patterns or in our lifestyle yearly to keep us buying stuff, to keep us decorating our houses, to keep us, yes, constantly in this consumer mindset, this capitalist mindset of, every storefront is changing its inventory out to
Every month it's a new thing. It's like,
yeah,
they just want us
but
to
it's
keep
keeping you
spending
broke.
money.
Yes, it's keeping people broke. For some people, like, it's like, hey, it's not a big deal. But for others, it's like they're worried about, hey, having to fill the Easter eggs up with stuff or having to, get gifts for it's like, because everything has become a thing. Like everything has become a thing and it's all it is.
Birthdays. Oh,
And
that's
it's
a
just
whole nother thing.
spending. It's
Birthdays.
just constant. Like I see it with my my sisters tonight, and I feel I'm like I don't want to not celebrate. I don't want to celebrate not just only because it's pagan, but I'm like I'm tired of seeing you guys stretched financially to accommodate your children, or to accommodate these events, these man-made, government-made, pagan-made holidays and things, just so you can be a part of this. It's like, don't let it do that to you. Don't let it do that to your family. Don't be subject to this crap. And I'm tired of us as a society of people struggling, to meet some of these needs, because everything's a competition. Everybody because everything becomes like, well, this kid got this kid got that, this kid, what'd you get for Easter? What'd you get for Easter? What'd you get for Easter? And it's like, so then they're feeling left. So it's just constant, cycle of going broke and being consumed. And this like, that's what's destroying us is us, we have to keep spending. We have to keep spending and keep this crap. And I'm like, and that also irritates me around all holidays. But, as this one's approaching again, I'm like, I'm seeing the consumerist element of it again too. I'm like, of us constantly needing to spend money. Money.
That's so much stuff.
It's so much stuff. 8 hours sleep, sleep. It's like that's exhausting. And I'm like, to think about every year, every event, every holiday that you're, having to come up with stuff for your kids. And some may have no problem with it. They, they'll brush it off like, oh, well, you see how happy the kids. It's like, yeah, but
don't make excuses for the
yeah.
pieces.
Do you have to spend money for your kids to all the time for your kids to feel loved, to feel loved, and to feel, you know what I mean? It's just
He's
like,
not
it's
happy.
crazy.
Sorry.
They don't want the smoke.
Sorry, Zeke. Sorry, Zeke. Are you a ride or die or what?
He don't want any of the smoke.
It's me and you, baby.
He sees Neo on the screen. He's like, you know what? I don't want. I can't. He's just. He sees that Mel Gibson. He sees the Braveheart photo in the background. He's tucking tail and running.
Happy.
Yeah.
Okay,
anyways,
so
those are kind of my
go
thoughts
to what
on
you're
it.
saying though. It's like we don't have to, you guys, we don't have to do these things. We don't. And it got to the point where like I was so tired of doing Christmas because I have a huge family. Like half my side is Mexican. So I have like dozens of cousins and aunts and uncles, and you have to buy presents for every single one. And it's like, you guys, and I just straight up told them, I think this was like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, I'm done with the Christmas gifts. Like nobody buy me a gift, and I'm not going to buy anyone a gift.
Mhm.
And it caught on like wildfire, and they're like, oh, I'm so glad you said that because I didn't want to do it either. And I'm like, yes. I was like, instead of us all buying stupid gifts, how about we all go on like a family trip? That way it's like, it's something to do as a family, and we're not buying like materialism. It's like experiences and memories that we're creating. And so now we do a family trip around Christmas instead of buying gifts for each other. And it just takes the pressure off the season. Like we don't have to be like running around, like going from store to store to like get everyone gifts. And it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the birth of Christ, by the way.
Yeah. No.
We'll get into it, but like,
But
so
yeah,
that's
it's
my point is like,
yeah.
you can be the cycle breaker in your family. You just need to say something. And I'm sure everyone else is going to be thrilled by you saying like, I don't want to buy gifts for each other. Like,
I told you
perfect. Neither did I.
You
like,
know,
let's just not do it.
I told you there's these TikToks around like these group of friends that'll have conspiracy night. This is like the perfect opportunity. Like, okay, I want to have a presentation Friday night. presentation.
Put a Google slide
on-
presentation up.
on Easter. All right. And then let me put some of these thoughts out there. And then maybe as a family, we can decide, like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be celebrating Easter. But like, I'll give you a prime example. Like I stopped, like you said, I stopped buying people stuff or my family stuff for the birthdays. Well, like 2 weeks ago, my mom she was listening to some records and she was on, how she loves, like, she listens like these 70s, 80s records. And I mentioned like the Guardians of the Galaxy's like soundtracks, are amazing, like for 70s, 80s soundtrack. But I'm like, here I am. I'm seeing that, you really like this. So I went out, I bought her a couple of records out of just, not to embellish, but out of the goodness of my heart.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I saw something that, like,
was a
again,
sweet, thoughtful thing to do.
yes, but it's not required, right? Like, it's not like, okay, you have this birthday, I'm required to buy you something, right? Like, I have to get you.
And it's more
Whereas,
special that way. Like, it's out of the blue. It's something thoughtful.
yeah,
Like,
and to me, that's the way it
better.
should be. Like, you see something, and you feel inclined to accommodate or to help or to give a gift. That's the way it should feel much more natural. It shouldn't be this, oh, here's this required Easter coming up where I need to get my nephews and nieces something for Easter. It's like when I see something that they need or something that they would enjoy, then I will get, that, right? It doesn't have to be this expected event, right? And we've gone on for
Do
a
you have
while.
any other, like, TikToks? Or
I have all kinds, but I feel like we've gone on for so long. And I'm like, maybe
Let's end it on a funny note.
Okay,
like, as always.
Let me find something. Okay, so let me share my screen.
Yeah.
And I'll start just
Ripping.
ripping, hammering them out.
Ripping
hammering 'em
through
out.
these TikToks.
Give me a minute. I just wish, I wish that they would upload faster so I can just really rip through these. Oh. All right, hold on
Let
a
it
second.
rip. Let it rip.
Let it rip. Let it fly. That's a Dixie Chick song, by the way. Let her rip, let her fly, bum, bum. Listen.
Yeah, we need some 90s nostalgia.
There's no greater feeling than coming back from recess when you threw like 7 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, you come in like...
Or dodgeball.
Listen, guys. Dodgeball. I was king of dodgeball.
I love dodgeball.
That's me every single time. Hey, listen,
Singing
singing
Dixie
sometimes... Oh, I sing some Dixie Chicks. 100%.
Do
I
they
love
sing
some Dixie
Landslide?
Chicks.
Landslide. Is that Dixie Chicks?
I don't think it's Dixie Chicks. But go ahead.
Oh, damn.
Continue.
I have a rendition. Don't
We got open
gaslight
mic.
me.
We got open mic night with.
What's your go-to
Maya.
karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song. I try sometimes when I'm down, get around, and I get
You can hit the high notes?
and I scream at the top of my lungs, "What's going on?"
And I
And I
said,
said, "Hey."
hey.
I can. No,
We're so sorry for
I
our...
know I talk extremely deep, but I can get pretty high. I'm not gonna lie with
You
my
can go
voice.
falsetto all the way to baritone.
I can, but yeah, I love that song. Hold on, let's see. Listen to that.
Creeping, I can see it from my shadow. Wanna jump up in my Lamborghini Gallardo. Maybe go to my place and just kick.
Tom Selleck and that mustache. You gotta love Tom Selleck. He's got this.
My first roommate when I lived in LA was the niece of Tom Selleck.
What?
Yeah.
You could have got introduced to Tom Selleck. That would go on my resume. Met Tom Selleck's niece.
She kicked me out after 4 months because she got knocked up by her boyfriend.
Probably because you called them fireflies, not lightning bugs.
Probably.
So have you, right there? Government spy. I'm telling you. So have you,
Someone who put in the comments, looks hilarious, but actually blocks some mind control and spells. Have you heard that? Have you heard where, like, supposedly, like, and you can buy these too now on, like, Amazon, like, beanie blockers. Like, beanie, I think it's like...
Oh, yeah,
EMF
I have
blockers.
one.
Is it EMF blockers?
I
type
literally
things?
have one.
Do you?
I don't know if it works, though. It was
Wait.
probably, like, fake. But I bought it during the pandemic when I was, like, totally tin-foiled out. Keanu.
How true is that?
You know I love that one.
Rapid fire. We're
Love
going
me some
rapid
Keanu.
fire. Yes. Mr. Anderson.
No new wars, proclaimed the orange shepherd, to which the flock replied, Amen. Fabrications 245. Now lately I've seen some of you patriots struggling in your MAGA faith. A lot of you have been asking the same question. He promised no new wars, so why are we attacking Iran? My child, that confusion only happens when you fail to open your MAGA Bible and read through the book of technicalities, chapters 4 and 5. You see, it's only a war if you call it a war. Otherwise, it's a defensive strike, a military operation, a very serious engagement, but definitely not a war. So when our Orange King promised no new wars, he wasn't lying, because until he calls it a war, it's just practice. And remember, my children, in MAGA theology, a promise isn't broken just because reality says it is. In this church, reality answers to the word of our Orange King, and only our Orange King. Amen.
Our Orange King. I love this. I love the comments. Is this the King Shames version? Let the children come to me. Oh, this is terrible. Jeffrey 1914.
Ooh.
My favorite book and verse, Exhausted 24/7.
Oh, these are so good.
But where is the missing books of Epstein? Pastor, can you read from the book of Hypocrisy 365?
365.
Wait, the comments are not disappointing. The book of redactions says it should be book of redactions.
Dang.
Can you do a
So
lesson from Sick and Tired 20? The Orange Shepherd. Hold on, I got another funny one kind of to follow up on that.
Here we go again. Just
Wait.
one more.
Wait,
just
listen,
one more.
I got so many. I can't help
10
it that I'm a
TikToks
TikTok.
later.
10 years later.
Decisively, not endless conflicts. Maximum lethality, not tepid legality. Violent effect, not politically correct. It's going to fight to win, not to lose. We're going to go on offense, not just on defense. Words matter. The word.
I love war slam poetry is crazy. Dude needs to chill on Chat GPT.
Why is he making it rhyme? I feel like this is such a satire. Like, our reality is such a satire.
It's such a joke. Like it
this
blows,
is literally a joke. They're
Amanda,
trolling us, you guys. They're
Amanda,
trolling us.
It blows my mind that people are like, that they think that our government is like, that all of this is actually real. I'm like, guys, this is all a giant.
They're
This
actors.
is the most
Trump
staged.
is literally an actor.
All of it is. All of it's an act. Every single part of it's an act. I'm like, you guys actually believe, like the fact that how much they believe still, like in that even just things like this. I'm like it's just all part of the show. Every single part of it. I mean, I feel like every little hearing you see, everything is put before Congress. Everything, it's just show. Everything is just a show. I love not
Enjoy
to
the
lose.
show.
Not a sentence. Like a
Not
gesture.
to lose. That was my favorite part. Too.
Like a gesture performing for his king. How about I go eat? Here's my favorite comment. Because if you understand this reference, it's hilarious. How about I go just eat some hay? I can make things out of clay and lay by the bay. I just may. What do you say?
Yeah.
Take a guess, Amanda. Where's that? Where's
I
that
know
from?
what it. I'm
Where's that
blanking.
from? Where's
Hey,
that
don't.
from?
It's like green eggs and ham. It's Dr. Seuss. Is it Dr. Seuss?
Happy Gilmore. It's Happy Gilmore.
Whatever.
You're so far off. You're so far off.
I know. I'm going to take that part out.
Wait, this one was. No, you got to leave it in.
No,
you have to
I
own it.
know.
You have to own
Okay,
it.
I thought it was Dr. Seuss and it was
Yes.
freaking Happy
Gilmore. Wow.
Are you sure?
Listen, if it's one thing I'm sure on,
It's
it's
Happy Gilmore.
quotes. All
I
right.
was more of a Billy Madison person myself.
Actually, well, the bus scene, my favorite thing in the Billy is the bus scene with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
That's one of the best scenes in all of movie history.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. As a Doordasher,
His Adam Sandler was peak
He was peak.
entertainment.
even as a Jew. All right.
Slap. Oh my God, why do you always have
so-
to go there?
I'm sorry. He is. All right. Wait. As a Doordasher, this cracked me up. All right. So sometimes you got to read your Doordasher text and move on with your day. Anna, it's about your McFlurry. The comments do not disappoint.
What about it? You eat it?
Anna, it's about your McFlurry holding his hand. They're holding hands. Give it to me straight, Doc. We did all we could. And what happened? What happened to the McFlurry?
Anna, are you sitting down, Anna?
You're gonna want to sit down. It didn't make it.
You're gonna want to sit down.
Is my McFlurry gonna make
McFlurry.
the Dasher behind the screen? Wait.
We need to know what happened to the McFlurry.
Probably not.
We
That
just
was
gotta
Gen
laugh
Z,
our
right?
way
So
through it.
you do. I mean, what else you gonna do? You know. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done now.
Okay.
Fine. You
Okay,
cut me
stop
off.
sharing.
You cut
Because
me
I
off.
have a serious question. Well, this is how I want to
Okay.
end it. Because you've
All
been
right.
making videos about your door dashing experiences
Yes,
as a
I
Doordasher.
sure have.
So
As a Doordasher, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this, be honest. Have you ever broken into the food? Have you ever like stolen a fry or like done something you shouldn't have done? I see a
Listen,
very suspicious look on your face.
this is not
You
confession
totally
time,
have eaten a
alright?
fry. Just be honest.
You think I would eat that goy slop? Listen, I do not eat. I don't eat fast food. I will have a few. Amanda, now
I
listen.
think you've stolen a
There's
fry.
It's been times. Can I say I've been tempted at times? Oh, man, there's times I've been tempted. Like, because like I'll go all night without eating. Because here's the thing: as a DoorDasher, here's a confession. Like, you don't want to spend any of your money. Like, you're seeing your money rack up, and you're like, well, if I go and get food, that subtracts from all my money I made. And you're like, so you don't want to spend any money. So you're hoping when the restaurant just kind of hooks you up, like, hey guys, like I had a Papa John's order or one time, and they're like, hey man, we have like 5 extra pizzas. You want to take one? I'm like, my man.
Dang. Okay.
I was like, man, I'm living large tonight. I'm living large. Yeah. So I got to be honest. I have never, and I have no reason to lie. I have no.
I feel like you're lying. I saw
have no
this
reason.
suspicious look.
Now, I will tell you this. This happened to me. I had an Anna situation happen to me about 2 weeks ago where, okay, no joke.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
So I had to pick up, it was my last order of the night. Okay. And it was a sheets pickup. Okay. And the thing is with some orders, they put the drinks in the bag. Okay. I don't know that. Sometimes you know that, like certain fast food places, they put the drinks inside the bag. Other areas, the drinks are out. You know, like they're sitting outside the bag. You gotta put them in your car or in a drink carrier or whatever. Well, some places, and sometimes it's nice it's in the bag. But I did not realize that this sheets bag had a drink inside of it. That it was a fountain pop drink. It was a fountain pop drink. Okay.
Pop. Oh yeah, you guys call it pop in Ohio.
Yeah, it's fountain pop. Yeah, just like lightning bugs. And so I had this fountain pop, drink. And as I'm driving, it may or may not have like flown off my seat down into the floorboards. And the drink went over. It just utter disgustingness, right? So it exploded, went all over the bag, her food. And luckily for me, because sometimes here's the funny thing. So as a dasher, and if you've ever ordered, you can either have them hand it to the customer or leave it at your door, right?
Oh, you left it, you son of a... You did?
So I'm like, I got to complete this delivery. There's like my last delivery of the night. I'm heading back home.
I can't believe you did that.
I'm like, I'm not going back to Sheets. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Like, this is a side gig. Like, I don't really care. Like, this isn't like my full-time job.
Isn't
right?
that like a ding star? Like, she probably give you 1 star for that.
So I messaged her, right? I did the Anna thing. So I messaged her. After I delivered it, I waited till I delivered because I'm like, I didn't want her to be like, why don't
After you delivered it?
Yeah. Because I didn't want her to be like, why don't you just go back and get me a new one? Because I'm like, because it's not worth it.
That's the right thing to do.
This is like $8, bro. I'm like, I'm not going back for $8. Like, it's not worth my time to go back there for $8. And DoorDash is going to pay. DoorDash is going to pay me regardless, and they're going to. If you complain, they're going to give you your money back. So it's a win-win. I get paid.
You put that in the app?
I mean,
they probably record all the conversations that you have.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. No. And in the message I put, hey, whatever her name was, I said, hey, so I'm not gonna lie. Your drink exploded in my car, and I'm like, if I was you, I would complain and see if they can give you a refund. I'm like, because I don't know what else to do for you, but I'm I'm really sorry. And I never heard back. She didn't message
Oh, she
me.
didn't say anything?
Didn't
Oh, you
say a
got
word.
off.
I
You got
logged off the app and I'm like, out of sight, out of mind. Best of luck. Godspeed. You know, I hope your food was edible. I know your drink was gone. The bag was just like starting to shred apart because there's so much liquid in the bag. Like it was starting to shred apart. The
And you
bag was.
still
And I still
delivered.
put that bag right on that front porch. And I'm like, deuces. Bye. So I will say I have not ever eaten any food, but I have delivered some suspicious
Okay.
things that I probably should, if I was being an elite, you've been promoted. You're now one of my elite employees. If I was being an elite employee, I would have taken it back because it didn't happen too far down the road. I think I was like 2 minutes down the road and that thing went flying off. I'm like, oh, crap.
And you still carried it.
I'm like, it's going. So send it. And believe me, I sent it for sure. Sorry, whoever you were. So.
All right. Well, that was quite the story to end our show tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning into another episode of Truth or Tapes. Let us know in the comments, very important, if you think we should be calling them lightning bugs or fireflies. No, don't say that. We thank you again for watching, and we can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Later.